All right, so today we are joined by Jake Schnieder, owner of Firefly Events, and also working on a new project called the Schnieder Project. How's it going, brother?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, man. So I do this with every interview, but give us a little bit of background on you as a person and like what your experiences in the music industry.
So about 9 years ago, is when I started getting interested in the music scene. Started listening to Skrillex and blah 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 blah. The
Like
list goes
everyone.
on. Exactly,
Once again,
exactly,
like everyone.
exactly, bro. Skrillex Knife Party, killing it.
Yes.
Anyways, so I started getting an interest in making music and, DJing and stuff like that. And so what I really cared about most at that point was DJing. So I started to learn how to DJ. And this is 9 years ago. So what is that like?
It's 2021 right now, so like 2000 and I can't do math too.
20, yeah,
Sorry,
20,
12.
yeah,
12.
2012.
12.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started DJing and then I did that for a year and then I bought FL Studio and I started, making music and stuff. And basically I did that all for about 5 years. Never really did anything with it. Like I never really released music. Like I throw stuff on SoundCloud, but it was
Right.
nothing,
Right.
Um, and then I started DJing, family birthdays and stuff like that, because I started wanting to make money so I could get like more of a studio going, better
Yeah,
DJ equipment.
weddings and birthday parties and shit like
E-
that are
Exactly.
what sometimes gives you the money, especially in the
Exactly.
beginning.
And it's like when you're a DJ, you have your eyes on those CDJs and you want those, but
Yeah.
2,500 bucks a pop, it's like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, so I kind of started my own company doing little birthday parties and stuff, and this is about six years ago. Um, and so it was like DJ Jake Party DJ was the company. It was super bad. But I started getting a lot better. I started getting more into the actual art of DJing and learning, like not even learning just to impress people, but just learning because I found that I have a deep love for it and the art of it. Um, and then so I started doing a lot of that. Um, and then I started working. Um, like if we go back when it comes to, it's so weird because my timeline is here's what I did as event production company,
Yeah.
and here's what I did as myself as an artist.
Right.
So I'm trying to like make it a
Yeah, there's
cohesive.
definitely two different sides of, one is business side and one is artist side. So,
Yeah. So I
yeah.
guess I'm going to explain the event side real quick, and then
Yep.
we'll go back and we'll explain the artist one.
Perfect.
So yeah, so I started doing birthday parties and stuff like that under DJ Jake Party DJ. And then fast forward to almost 5 years ago, going on 5 years this year, is when I met my good friend Branson Carvalho.
Yep.
And he kind of had the same love for he was mostly lighting, but he loved, electronic music and he loved all of that. And
Sweet.
he was interested in learning how to DJ. And so I kind of started teaching him. And then that summer was when we were chilling in his room and we were like, yeah, let's make this a real thing. And so we kind of spent most of that
Hell yeah.
summer coming up with our name, Firefly Events, which is a whole other story on how we got that. Fireflies by Owl City. So we spent that summer getting our name, kind of deciding what we want to do as a company, what events we don't want to do, stuff that we're not trained for, like quinceañeras. I've done like one of those, was not
Right.
great, not my
Yeah.
like I'm saying it's a very complicated thing and it was just not something I wanted to get into, but there's
Right.
a lot of money in that.
Oh yeah. Those
um
quinceañeras are freaking expensive
oh
to
yeah.
throw on.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we started Firefly Events all going on 5 years ago now, and we started doing middle school dances, high school dances. Like that was like a really pivotal point in me
Yeah.
personally, because I went from doing stupid little birthday parties and stuff. And they're not stupid, but like when you're
Right.
a DJ, you want to do bigger
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. There's a difference
And
between just a party DJ and a
exactly.
headliner of a festival.
And not only that, it's as a production company, those are
Yeah.
just they're boring and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're not fun to do because you
Yeah.
go to someone's house who you've never seen before, you set up your equipment that's decently expensive,
Yeah.
and then you DJ for people that don't care. So
Yeah.
so we started doing middle schools and high schools through my friend Tanner James. He had a company called DJTJ Entertainment, and I was working for him at that point, and he started liquidating his company, so he was selling us off some of his high schools after he had trained me on how to do them and all that type of stuff. So going on from that, we started getting a lot of high school contracts. We were kind of blowing up in the high school scene. Like I think we had at one point almost 10 high schools at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
doing real
if they're
good.
calling you in for every dance and stuff, that's hard to juggle,
Oh
especially
yeah,
because there's seasons of it too. So,
yeah.
yeah.
It was nuts. And then we didn't really blow up in middle school scene. We got like one or two, and then that was really it. Like we still have one of them to this day because they're just such a great client and they're awesome. So
Right, you
we
want to take
always
care of them.
return.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then fast forward to 2019, I think October. It's when I had already known Dennis at this point, and we'll go over that part when I do as an artist.
And who he's talking about right now is Dennis from XL Ghost Symphonic Boys, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So I had met him through I DJ'd at Bass Therapy, and I came up to him and I told him, I was like, yo, I own a company, we do like professional lighting and all that type of stuff. And because Bass Therapy was already awesome, but the lighting was like not
Oh yeah.
awesome.
Right.
But I don't blame him.
When they started, 'cause I started with them with day one when they started doing bass therapy. When they started, when they were at the rink, it was okay. It was pretty good. Like our first event, that definitely popped off. But then they moved over to the Republic, right? Yeah, Republic, and that's when like some of the lighting and stuff started. Like it just the venue was different, so it was hard for them to adjust. And then that's when you stepped in and you guys really hit it off. So
thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had October, I think it was, we come in and we started doing lighting with them, and I mean that was a pretty important part in the company, was when we started finally getting our traction in the scene and the way we wanted to go, because high schools and stuff, they're awesome, they pay the bills, but that wasn't what we wanted to do with this company.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's not.
We're trying
your true love is doing real events and the whole DJ and EDM thing. So
exactly. Yeah. So that was what we wanted to get into, and Dennis gave us the perfect opportunity to do so. And then we started doing all the lighting for Bass Therapy, and then eventually we took over doing the audio as well. Not with like we didn't bring our own speakers, but I'm an audio engineer.
Yeah.
So I started mixing all the audio at Bass Therapy. So we kind of took over the production side of Bass Therapy, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, we just kept going, and then
now you guys have Dirty Disco though.
Yes,
which is awesome. Which is something that I definitely, I think that's really what you're starting to really put you on the map. Not just tag, in a sense, like a lot of people I feel like view like Firefly Events. Oh, they're just helping. They're the back end of like Symphonic, whatever. No, they're not. No, you're not. You're your own. You're your own thing. And I think the Dirty Disco project, especially during COVID, like how'd that come like about? Like what was the whole story on that of how that got developed and what gave you that idea?
So basically, when COVID hit, Dennis, again, Exhale Dennis, him and I were talking about doing a live streamed Bass Therapy, because we couldn't do events anymore at that point. And I remember this moment vividly. I was doing a party for a kid's birthday, like trying to get the money before we were all shut down.
Right.
And I was doing that with another company, Limitless Productions, I think it's called. I can't remember. But so I was doing a party, and I called Dennis because we supposedly already had a date, and it was like the next day or something. And he decided he didn't want to do it, or he postponed it. And anyways, so fast forward a week later, I have Tim come over, Tim Matting, the host of Dirty Disco,
Yep.
and we're chatting about it, and I was just like, well, I mean, let's just do it ourselves. And he kind of had the same thought process of this is kind of a perfect moment for us to shove ourselves in the scene as not just a production company, but also a promoter company.
Right.
And
An actual event company.
exactly, it's in
Yeah.
the name, events. That was our entire goal this whole time, and it took us 5 years to get there. But
Sometimes it takes a while, man.
it does.
Yeah, the stepping stones that you got to accomplish. People are just like, oh, they just pop out of nowhere, and they're they're
Exactly,
an event
yeah.
company. It's like, nah, there's a lot of work.
Exactly. But yeah, so Tim and I, we originally started it at my house, and we just, pulled in the garage, threw some stuff up and called it good. And then we called it Firefly Fest 1.0, like totally knocking off a fire festival.
Right.
But yeah, after that first one, we were like, hey, Branton, what if we just come over to your place where we have more space? It's actually inside and warm. And so we did that. And then it ended up getting so much more professional since we made that move.
Yeah.
Because it's not a garage, so it looks a little bit better because it's not like chainsaws on the wall or whatever. And B, the biggest thing I did to make it look better was buy black curtains and hang them everywhere.
Yeah, that's a big thing, especially for light reflection and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it started. We just decided that no one else in this local scene is doing it. We have all of these DJs who want to DJ. Like,
yeah, we got a pretty fat lineup here in Sacramento.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You guys have been throwing some good ones too. You guys just brought in the homeboy Grimy Gabe too. He finally played his first real show.
Yeah, I think he's coming back actually in a few weeks.
Awesome. I'm excited for that. But yeah, then the Wi-Fi and back-to-back Juggernaut and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was your guys' last one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And you guys got another one tonight?
Yeah.
Perfect. So,
yep.
yeah, all the listeners out there, go check them out.
I'm actually DJing tonight too.
Oh, sick. I will definitely tune in. So you started off as a DJ first, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay, so in between the two, pick a really big pivotal moment in your career so far, just being in the music industry as a whole.
So, as a company, it would probably be when we started doing lighting for Bass Therapy.
Right.
I mean, there's a few pivotal moments, but that was like a really big one because that's what gave us our entrance into this scene.
Yeah.
People
started seeing your faces every week and
exactly
getting to know you, and yeah.
And then when we started Dirty Disco was the second pivotal moment because that took us from just being a production company to now being, a promoter company and doing actual events. Other than that, I don't know of any other big pivotal moments. I guess one of the bigger ones would probably be when high school started flooding us.
Yeah.
Because that gave us a decent amount of income to be able to boost our production stuff.
Yeah.
So we can start doing.
So without that, you guys really wouldn't be where you are today.
Oh yeah, I owe it to high schools, dude.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They helped us a lot. And it's interesting. I found out something I always heard from every high school was the kids would come up to me and they were like, how old are you? And I'm like, 18 or 19 or I think I was like 16 or 17 at the time.
Like, oh, so you're in high school yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I tell my age and then they're like, and then they would be like, that's why you're a good DJ because you understand what we want to hear. And I think that's really a big thing for high school.
That was a huge thing. I hated the DJs that played my high school. It's like, what is this?
Seriously. So that's a funny story too, because my own high school wouldn't hire me.
Oh.
After I had every other high school in the district hire me, I had the district director, the dude in charge, whatever.
Yeah.
He even sent my business card to high schools. Like he liked our stuff.
Wow.
But
so past that, I had an interesting question that since you are an event company and you are, running your own thing, doing your own thing now, both you and I, being in the Sacramento scene, we've seen a couple event companies that have, started and thrown like one show and then completely fell off after that. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is what do you think one of the biggest mistakes that you see people in the industry make as far as event companies and why they fail?
I mean, there's a couple things that I see. Something that I point out a lot is some people, it's ego.
Yeah,
They think they're too good. But the biggest mistake of why shows fail is because marketing. You didn't do the marketing right.
right.
And if you're in our position where, we haven't done a real like
Yeah,
in-person show, when we do, that marketing is the most important thing.
absolutely.
Marketing and the names you have on the flyer. Just because
Yeah,
you have a big name, you're not selling out.
yeah,
You need to get the word to everyone, and you need
right.
to make them interested.
Yeah. Yeah, and who headlines the show and the lineup, and because a lot of people, especially in a new event company, I want to say home base through an event. They had Champagne Drip and Riot. This was 2 years ago, probably 2.5 years ago,
Mhm.
at the rink. And I'm pretty sure that was their first show. National Entity helped with them, helped them out with that show, but I think that was their first show, and I think I'm pretty sure it sold out, but it was because of the people that they put on the flyer and who they booked for the show. So, do you have any struggles? You haven't really necessarily booked anyone like crazy big, but maybe working with alongside with base therapy. Do you like what's like the main connection of like how you book those people? Do you guys directly reach out to like agencies, or do you guys just reach out to them in person or their managers? Like, how does that work?
Um, See, it's been a while since I've been on the actual
Yeah,
booking part of
it's
Dirty
been a while.
Disco because so here's kind of like the layout. So I deal with all clients that are Firefly related. So like when Dennis came to me for Redline, I deal with him. Tim does not.
Yeah.
But when it comes to booking for not Dirty Disc or well, Dirty Disco, sorry, that was their handle. Is Tim does all the booking. But I do know he tends to reach out to them just in person,
Okay.
and that's kind of the best way. I think that's
Dude,
how we do it.
that's
But
what I found even for this show. I got a couple big bookings coming up in here in a couple of months, and it was literally like I just take a chance, dude. DM them.
yeah,
Like, yo,
exactly.
doing this. Like, hey, would you want to be a part of it? Like,
And that's
surprisingly enough, like a lot of people are down.
exactly. And that's a surprising part about how I've gotten where I am in this industry is like I started working at Club Chaos years ago for the people who know what Club Chaos
Yeah.
is. The only reason I got that job was because I reached out to the owner and I was like, "Hey, do you guys need any staff? I kind of work in this industry. I'm trying to get better at it, blah blah." And he said, "No, we're kind of good right now." And then he reached back to me like a week later and he was like, "Wait, do you know how to do lighting?" And
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, exactly. Me personally, no, not at all. But what I
Right.
said was, yes, of course. What software to use? I can get everything ready to go, and I can do lighting. And so, sometimes you fake it till you make it. But
Right.
it really like it boosted me getting that connection with him, and working there taught me a lot about this industry and the things that you do. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
one of the biggest things too. It's like to really make a name for like if you're like building your own company or whatever in the industry, you got to not be afraid to put yourself out there.
oh yeah, yeah,
I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. Even like DJs and stuff, like being afraid to like oh, I want to go play that. I've been asked multiple times. I've worked for a production company in San Francisco, and they're like, hey, could you get me booked? It's like, dude, just freaking email them.
yeah,
Like, reach out to them
exactly.
yourself. Put yourself out there. Make yourself look marketable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
And
take it
that's
upon yourself.
that's something people don't really know about me is how many companies I have worked for and I
Yeah.
still currently work for. Like I work for Canon Sound and Light, huge audio
Oh
company
yeah.
in Sacramento. Symphonic, obviously,
Yep.
my company, obviously,
Yep.
DJ TJ Entertainment, DJ Circle, Club Chaos, DJ Elements. Like that's just a few of them off the top.
Right.
But you
How,
really
how did how did you and DJ Elements meet?
so that was due to Club Chaos because he's the
Okay.
one who owns Club
Right,
Chaos.
right. And for those of you who don't know who DJ Elements is, he actually is the DJ for the Sacramento Kings, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, he's one of my good friends.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. How old is he?
Just turned 35, I want to say.
Dang, yeah, I knew he was older, but he seems like a really good guy. I've never met him, but him working with you guys and stuff, he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so what's on the horizon for Firefly Events and or the Schnieder project here coming up in 2021?
Well, with my Schneider project, which we haven't gotten too depth into being an artist, but with the Schneider project is I'm sitting on music and I just need to get release dates and start releasing because going back So I did the Basilisk project for 3 or 4 years, and
Right.
then I very abruptly ended that project last year. Um, and it was mainly because of I got into a realization phase of I did all of that for the wrong reasons. All that music was made because I was trying to get shows.
Right.
I wasn't making music for the hobby of it and
The
for
love
the
of actually being a
actual
producer.
emotions of it and the love of being
Yeah.
a producer. And so that's when I put out a post and I said, I'm ending this project. I just wasn't doing it for the right reasons, blah, 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 blah. And so I kind of took some time, um, and I invented the Schnieder project, which Schneider is my last name.
Yeah.
And because I want this to be a really raw, emotional, real musical project, I'm not making club bangers. I'm probably not
Yeah.
going to get many shows because it's just not the style here.
Right.
But it's just what I love doing, recording real vocals and stuff like that. So
Sweet. Um, so I know the mix that you sent me was a little bit trap heavy. What's your genre that you're trying to kind of going for with the Schneider project?
So that's interesting because my kind of goal with the mix was to because I don't really record mixes often. It's just
Yeah.
not my thing.
Right.
But I wanted to do a 30-minute like beginning to end from before Basilisk and then the Basilisk project to the Schneider project and kind of show all of what my history has been.
Right.
And so I've always been kind of a trap heavy, but mainly house motivated
Yeah, because
DJ.
I met you and you're like house, 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 house,
Oh
house. And I'm
yeah,
sick. A house
up and
artist is
down,
pretty
up and
good.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have some trap influence then in your artist
Mhm.
catalog.
I used to make a lot of heavy trap, which you can find on like the Basilisk SoundCloud and
Sweet.
iTunes and stuff.
Awesome.
But
Um, well, how can our listeners get in touch with you and follow you on your journey? Other
so
than watching and tuning in, especially tonight to the or Sunday nights. So you guys do every 2 weeks or every week?
every week,
Every week. Okay, so every week on Sunday nights, you can tune into Twitch and watch the Firefly Events page.
Sunday at 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
But for me personally, you can find Schneider Music on Insta. It's SCHNEIDERMUZIK on Instagram, or company wise, but Schneider Music I don't really post often at all. Company wise, we're at Firefly Events DJ on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and then it's just Firefly Events on YouTube and Twitch. And go to the Twitch for Dirty Disco. It's on our Firefly page. And we have a website, fireflyteams.com. So,
Sweet. Well, thank you, man. Any closing words for us today?
I mean, yeah, just expect new Schneider music soon.
Sweet. I can't
So,
wait, man. I'm very
and big
excited
events
for
on
that.
the horizon for Firefly. So,
Yeah, I'm hopefully we get back to normal, man. You guys can actually throw a real show.
that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank
I will
you.
talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.